Hi, I'm Penny from Being Mrs. C, and thanks to everyone who watched my last Shelfie video, and I thought it was time to have another one. So this time we've come downstairs and we're going to be looking at one of the bookcases in my front room. So here we are today in my front room, and we've actually got two bookcases in here, one there and one the other side of the old chimney breast. So today we're going to have a look at this one on the left hand side first. Someone commented on my last Shelfie about how tidy my bookcases were and how theirs weren't anything like that. I should say that this is actually proving to be a really good exercise in tidying up the bookcases. As you see here on this top shelf, actually, if we pull this out, there's a whole extra set of books hidden behind there as well that you can't always see. So up here we've got really a variety of fiction titles, some of which I've read, and I have to admit some of which here I haven't actually got round to yet. So things like the Val McDermid I've already read. Other ones here, things like Victoria Hislop, I just haven't got round to yet. Dawn French's autobiography, Dear Fatty, is really good, and actually Chris Evans, if you like Chris Evans at all, I definitely recommend reading his book there. It really gives you a whole different view of the guy. Underground, Overground, all about the history of the London Underground, showing my geeky side a little bit there. Kate Morton I haven't got round to yet. Kate Moss, my mum's a big fan of hers as well. Tracy Chevalier, I've read a couple of hers but not actually this one as yet. Anita Shreve, I really enjoy actually, there's a couple of her books down here. It's awful actually, quite a few of this top shelf I just haven't got around to reading yet. The White Tiger, that's a good one, about life in India. Come down a shelf, a bit more crime fiction down here. Again, more that I haven't read. Quite a few Frederick Forsyth, Andy McNabb, never read any of his stuff. Tom Bradbury, who's actually the ITN, I think it's ITN journalist. There's more Ken Follett in here. There's some of Mr. C's Terry Pratchett collection as well. We got a bit of Stephen Fry. We had some of his books upstairs when we were looking on the last Shelfie. A Short History of Tractors in Ukrainian. Actually a really good book. If you've not read that, I definitely recommend it. Terry Wogan's autobiography. I think I'm showing that I'm a Radio 2 listener, aren't I? If we then go down a shelf here, a complete mix of stuff. An old chemistry textbook that I had at school. Great Tales from English History, one of those things that I think I ought to read but haven't got round to. Book on the Special Operations Executive, a Spy's Bedside Book. There's also books here on Enigma, The Most Secret War, Germania. So I quite like that sort of spy thing. Book about MI6 as well. All good. A few books that came from my parents' house, so a chess book there, and then I remember this backgammon book from years ago with my father. More books hidden at the back here, so there's a bit of Sue Townsend in there, some Adrian Mole, a few other bits and pieces. Winston and Clementine, the letters between Winston Churchill and his wife. Book all about bicarbonate of soda and all the different things you can do with that. Huge book here, the official biography of the Queen Mother, and always good to have a good encyclopedia on the shelf too. We go down another shelf, variety of bits and pieces stacked up here, including the Don'ts for Wives 1913 edition reprint. My husband actually quoted from the Don'ts for Husbands in his speech at our wedding. We've also then got more sort of fiction books and a few sort of more non-fiction tucked away here. Ian Sinclair, London Orbital, about the M25 and travelling around that. I started reading that, never quite finished it for some strange reason. Pamela Stevenson writing about her husband, Billy Connolly, in Bravemouth. That's a good read. Sophie's World, I bought that when I was a teenager and I've still never got around to reading it. Quite bad, really. Also on here there's quite a bit of Tim Moore, who, as I said in my Shelfie upstairs, is a great travel writer, and if you don't know his works, definitely do. Mr. C and I both turned out had read Do Not Pass Go just before we met, and I remember talking about that on one of our first date evenings. And then we're down here, we've just got a pile of CDs down here really, and The History of the World, which is actually a book I was given as a prize at junior school. I think it was in my final year at junior school, so when I was aged 10, 11, something like that, and we came across that recently clearing out my mum's house. So anyway, that's my downstairs shelfie. I look forward to seeing what's on your bookcase.